McKinney Boyd keeps raising the bar. A second-round playoff appearance a couple of years ago, followed by the deepest playoff run in school history last season, all the way to the regional quarterfinals, as Coach Brandon Milam joins us now. And Brandon, before we touch on this season so far, you have to like the overall direction of this program.
Right. We started, basically started from scratch here, new school, and we started out 4A, and then we moved up to 5A. But every year there's growth, there's progress. What's great, it's really helped us a lot as a program, is we've had the same coaching staff here for the last 5 years. And so, that's definitely a plus when you talk about consistency throughout from top to bottom. So, but there's growth there because the kids committed to, they committed to their program, their coaches, they believe in us, and we believe in them, and it's just a great place to be.
This 2012 team has been through a couple of tournaments so far. First, the McKinney ISD tournament, followed by the Donnie Worthington Classic in Wiley, where you went 3-1, 7-3 overall. What stands out about this team?
Right now, offensively, we're really seeing the ball well. We made a concerted effort to be more aggressive on the base pads, and we've done that as well. And going into the season, we lost a lot of good pitching. 4 guys graduated, and they're still pitching in college right now. So, that was a huge concern for us, but we've got some guys that step forward just like every year. Somebody steps forward that you really don't know if you're going to count on them or not. We've had 4 or 5 guys step up and really pitch well in these tournaments, and that's going to help us, provided we make the playoffs in a 3-game series. That's really going to help us with the arms. So, we've had great tournaments. We obviously would like to have gone undefeated in both of these tournaments, but we dropped one to McKinney High in the first tournament, and then we lost to Frisco Centennial this past weekend. So. Both those are very solid teams, and we have high expectations for this tournament coming up.
Yeah, you returned several all-district performers from last year, but like you say, you lost a few pitchers who contributed quite a bit last season, including Michael Rickey and Blake Douglas, who you relied on quite a bit in 2011. Meanwhile, you're restocking that staff. What's going to determine who becomes your Tuesday and Friday starters in district play?
Well, it's going to be consistency. With the new bats that we have, throwing strikes has become huge because walks become huge. And so we got to be able to throw strikes and be consistent. We've got 4 guys: Cameron Sweeney, Zach Hutcherson, and Tyler Keegan, Taylor Williams. Those are 4 guys that have really looked pretty good for us, and we expect the same in this weekend's tournament. A lot of those guys will get some innings in, and hopefully once we get into district, we start district pretty soon tonight, matter of fact, and then next week it's all district games from here on out. And so hopefully by then we'll figure out who our top 4 guys on that we can depend on and be there on a consistent basis.
You're trying to figure out who you have on the mound. You know who you have in center field. That's Evan Williams. He powered this offense a year ago, first team all-district, led the team in hits, average overall, doubles, RBIs. What do you want from Evan as a senior?
Number one thing we want out of him, because we know we're going to get the offensive production, we know we're going to get a defense from him, and what we need most out of him is his leadership abilities. And he's become a different kid this year, and he's committed himself to the program and committed himself to his team. The other players feed off of that. He's become stronger physically. He's gained a lot of weight and has really gained some strength, and his swing is obviously going to be a huge bat in the lineup for us. We've got guys that are hitting around him too to help protect him, and we're going to get what we get out of him every year, and that's solid quality at bats, driving runs in, and we just got to get on in front of him, and when he gets on, we got to drive him in.
Brandon, you mentioned protection for Evan. He's getting that from a freshman right now in Will Hollis, batting .450. Did you expect this so early from Will?
Well, Will is a freshman who plays football and basketball, and so we didn't really get a chance to really see him until basketball season was over and he came out. And he started with sub-varsity guys, with freshman JV and whatnot, and he hit the ball well, had quality at bats. We brought him up for a tournament, and it was pretty obvious that he probably belongs with us on the varsity. So we went ahead and put him in the 4-hole just for lefty-righty matchup, stuff like that. But he's going to provide protection there, and so is Cameron Sweeney as well. He's having some good at-bats too, and we hope to get to a situation where there's not an open base and they still fear putting Evan on, or they can't pitch around Evan. It's because the guy behind him is also a good hitter.
Trevor Bocian, the 2011 10-5A Defensive Player of the Year at second base. This senior is an invaluable presence for your team, isn't he?
He is, definitely, and he's someone who's always in the game. He's always talking, he's always communicating. Every pitch, he's looking in, looking at me to make sure we're not moving alignment or changing coverage, or he's always talking to the outfielders. And so he's a great leader as well. He's gained some athleticism over this past year, and so that's definitely going to help his range at second base. It's going to help him at the plate as well. And right now he's having a solid year at the plate. He started out hitting 2-hole. We've moved him from 4-hole and back and forth. So he gives us the most quality at bats right now on the team. He leads the team in quality at bats.
And a guy who's hitting in the leadoff spot for you is Russell Williams, last year's newcomer of the year in the district, playing shortstop for you. What's the next step in Russell's development here in his junior year?
Well, our expectations are very high for him. He came in as a sophomore, and quite frankly, when he came in as a sophomore, we were looking for a shortstop, and I really didn't think he was the option. Coach Sparks and Coach Porter, our two varsity assistants, kind of had to talk me into putting him out there, and I don't know where we'd be if they had not talked me into that. And so we depend on him highly. He's a great kid, extremely smart in the classroom, extremely smart on the baseball diamond. He's a great leader. He leads by example. He's not really like kind of cheerleader type of guy, and so we pushed him to the leadoff spot because we lost our leadoff guy last year in Shane Sharkey. So we weren't sure what we were going to get out of him in the leadoff spot because he is mainly a contact guy. But he's become a better hitter from last year, and I think he leads. He leads in on-base percentage and a lot of categories. He's done well for us, and surprisingly, being in the leadoff spot, he could be our 4-hole hitter too. We just really like him in that leadoff spot.
District play gets underway tonight, Monday night. As you mentioned, Lakeview Centennial, the opponent. This is a team that you swept last year. What's the message overall to your team as you begin the most important part of the schedule?
Right. Well, our goal this year is to win district, bottom line. We've gone 2 rounds a couple years ago, went 3 rounds deep last year, and we have yet in our program's history win a district title, and that's our goal. To do that, we're going to have to beat Rowlett, we're going to have to beat Naaman Forest, but we can't let teams like Lakeview Centennial slip up and beat us just because we're complacent. They're a very solid team. We got to pitch well, we got to play good defense, and our hitting will win a lot of games for us. But without playing good defense and without pitching, you're not going to do a whole lot. But the main goal is we got to start on the right foot. We're going to be on the road, and if I remember right correctly, last year we struggled early playing those guys over there at their park. So we got to come out, we got to win game 1 and focus every game. We got to play solid baseball, top to bottom, defense. All 3 phases have to come together, and it comes down with Rowlett and Naaman. We got those guys zeroed in. We're going to try to see them, scout them as much as we can, and do all we can. They're very solid programs, both of them are. But I feel like we play the type of baseball we're capable of playing that we can win a title.
Later this week, the I30 Classic in Royce City and Rockwall Heath, another tournament for your team. What do you want to get out of that event, the brief break that interrupts district play just for the moment? Well,
last year we went over that tournament. We probably played the worst baseball that we played all year last year, and I think it kind of was a factor in the way we played early on in district. I feel like this year, though, we kind of have our lineup figured out a little bit more. I think we're a little bit better offensively. So this year, it's a huge tournament for us. It kind of is in between 2 district games against some opponents that we should play solid baseball and we should win. So we're going to treat this tournament kind of like we did this past weekend. We treated it like a 3-game series. It was 4 games. We treated it like a 3-game playoff series, and we had to win to move on. And we got to attack that with that same mentality because we're going to be playing Rockwall Heath, Rockwall, Forney. They beat us last year, so there's going to be some good teams in this tournament.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having us.
Brandon Milam, head coach of the Boyd Broncos. They are ready for the start of district play this week, tonight, Monday, against Lakeview Centennial, and they're ready to take another step forward.